Pixar's first ever sequel, Toy Story 2, went through a shocking but interesting development process. Normally an animated film would be made in like 3 to 5 years tops. Toy Story 2, however, took 9 months to be made. That's not normal for a movie, unless you're making a movie online without a budget. And it really did pay off for Pixar. And thankfully they took a break from sequels until 2010 with Toy Story 3. I'll just do this bit quickly. The US got it in November of 1999, the UK got it in February of 2000. Why are these release dates so far apart? The only difference in the US and the UK releases is the audio. An easy way to put it is if you go to Audacity and you have an audio track, you change the pitch to 3, you've got the UK audio. I do that sometimes in my videos. Whatever, at least nowadays Pixar do it by a month later. But that's not as great as nowadays spoilers are easy to find if not careful. Let's get into the plot, shall we? Woody is worried that his hat is missing and is wanting to be ready for when Andy takes him to cowboy camp. Just before Andy leaves to go to camp, Andy has one last play with his toys until he comes back from camp. But in the process, Andy accidentally rips a little piece of Woody's right arm off, causing Woody not to go to the camp with Andy, and gets put on the top shelf. One nightmare scene later, Woody discovers that Wheezy, played by the storyboarder of the movie, Joe Ranft, was put on the shelf months ago after his squeaker was broken, and was said to be fixed to calm down Andy, and even starts questioning if he should even continue hoping to still be played anymore. Woody then discovers that Andy's mum is setting up a yard sale to sell some stuff that no one wants in the family. Wheezy gets taken away and gets put in the yard sale, and so Woody calls upon Buster, the family dog, to go and help Woody and rescue Wheezy before he could get sold by anyone. But just before they could make it back inside the house after saving Wheezy, Woody falls off and gets picked up by a random little girl and gets thrown away by the little girl's mother and landed on one of the tables, which Woody was found by a toy collector named Al, played by Wayne Knight. Andy's mom notices Woody and locks him up. Al causes a distraction so he can unlock the money box Woody was in and kidnaps him. Buzz quickly rushes to save Woody but couldn't do so in time. So Buzz, Mr. Potato Head, Slinky, Rex, and Ham go off to find Woody and bring him back to Andy before he comes home from cowboy camp. While that's happening, Woody ends up in Al's apartment and meets up with other toys such as Bullseye the horse, Jessie the yodeling cowgirl, played by Joan Cusack, and the Prospector, or his other name, Stinky Pete, played by Casey Grammer. And Woody discovers he's a very valuable property and sticks around to know more about his franchise that he never knew about. Sometimes sequels worry me, as I always get worried that it won't always be as good as the first one, or other sequels, heck, even downright awful. But Toy Story 2 is better than the first Toy Story. The characters are greatly developed, Woody learning about what could happen in a few years between both him and Andy, Buzz doing the best he can to rescue Woody like how he did for him. Even Buzz said it himself.
Woody once risked his life to save me. I couldn't call myself his friend if I weren't willing to do the same.
This time the toys aren't mean to Woody for something that he did. At first they thought he was nuts for using Buster to go and rescue Wheezy. But once they saw him saving Wheezy, they really liked what he did, especially Mr. Potato Head. I guess he really learned his lesson after the first Toy Story. One thing that happens is Buzz heads into the Buzz aisle in Al's toy barn and meets a Buzz Lightyear with a utility belt and thinks he's a real space ranger and traps Buzz inside a cardboard box spaceship from the first movie. And the other toys think the belt Buzz is the Buzz they know, just with a new belt. And so that Buzz tags along, which is pretty funny, and I like the moments when the two Buzzes talk in the same scene. The new characters are great too. Bullseye is funny as he loves to be around Woody and such. Stinky Pete is like the old man that knows what's best, and even the surprise we get from him is pretty shocking at first. I'd say the best new character is Jessie, as we get to know a backstory about her and how much she hates being in boxes and in storage. And it's one of the most saddest moments in Pixar films, and it is the first Pixar movie to make me cry. That's how powerful the scene is. As a matter of fact, this scene was originally going to be in what was originally going to be Pixar's first film before they changed it into Toy Story. The film was called A Tin Toy Christmas. Long story short, they were going into bankruptcy at the time, so the film was scrapped but then reworked into Toy Story, and they used some moments in A Tin Toy Christmas into the Toy Story films, like the ending of Toy Story being set in Christmas, and Jessie's backstory of how she went into storage in Toy Story 2. It's nice to see scrapped ideas being used in new ways so it can still be told. I feel like the scene in the recent trailer to Wreck-It Ralph 2 with the Disney princesses is like the cancelled early 2010s Princess Academy, though that was going to have every female character from Disney and Pixar, and not just Disney princesses. Sorry, I went off topic. Let's talk about the animation. The animation in this movie is an improvement from the first movie. The characters look better, especially the mouse. Even the humans look better in this movie, in my opinion. We even get to go to new locations we've never been to before, and it gives the movie more life doing so. There's even a couple of action scenes, and they're pretty good too. I'll say right now, my favorite ones are the two scenes with Buzz fighting Zurg. Even the opening to the film was really awesome, taking place inside a Buzz Lightyear video game. It makes me wish that we got this as a real Buzz Lightyear game. I guess the versions we got in the Toy Story 3 game is good enough for me until one day we can get a Buzz Lightyear game in this kind of style. I could see it working so well. Just no QuickTime events, please. The music was once again done by Randy Newman, and obviously seeing as I love the music in Toy Story and A Bug's Life, I can definitely say that Toy Story 2 was even better. Toy Story 2 is one of my favorite sequels, and is, like I said earlier, an even better movie than the original film. It does so much right and does stuff to improve upon the first one, which is what a sequel is supposed to do. And that's why I like certain films like Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2 or recently Deadpool 2. As I've said for Toy Story, I love this movie, I've seen it a million times already, and I'll see it a million times more. Pixar's first sequel is once again another animated classic for both Pixar and animated movies in general. This is a sequel I highly recommend.